to speak and moderate on the regulations. And I welcome to all the participants who are participating in this webinar. Since the last 4 webinars was already organized, and we have already discussed some of the regulations in these webinars. Now we will discuss the most important part of the regulation, which is the CIRP regulation. And this is very recently amended by the ICSI, by the IBBI on 26th of May. So I will take up the latest regulations, and if any further amendment or further suggestions was required in this regulation, so I'm inviting to all the participants kindly take the part in the discussion and suggest the if any implementation or some changes is required in the regulation. So suggest, because this is the interactive session. This is not the session in which I will only speak. This is the session in which all the participants will participate and they will provide their own views, suggestions. So the most fruitful regulations can be drafted by the IBBI, and ICSI IPA can make their suggestions to the IBBI as per our recommendation or as per our feedbacks. So we'll start with the regulation. I just share my screen first. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, as you have seen on my screen, this is amended up to 26 May 2025. So, a very recent amendment is there in this regulation. So, we will discuss each and every part. So the proper feedbacks you can provide, or some changes or suggestions you can suggest. We'll start with the first part. This is the regulation number 1, which is related to the short title and commencement. So we all knows these regulation may be called the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India Insolvency Resolution Process for the Corporate Persons Regulation 2016, and this regulation was came into force on 1st December 2016. So this is the basically short title and commencement part. Now we will discuss the definition part. So what is the definition part basically? What is the meaning of applicant here? So applicant means a person filing an application under section 7, 9, 10. We all are aware. 7 is for the FC, 9 for the OC, and the 10 for the corporate debtor itself. So as the case may be, so all are considered as the applicant. Now, what is the class of creditors as per definition? So, the class of creditors means a class with at least 10 financial creditors under clause B of subsection 6A of section 21. So, we will also see what is provided as per this section. I am also sharing this section 21 also. I'm just sharing. So the committee of creditors basically, section 21, this is section 21. Now is subsection 6A. So what is as per subsection 6A, where a financial debt 6A is in the form of securities or deposits, and the term of the financial debt provide for the appointment of a trustee or agent to act as the authorized representative for all the FC such trustee or agent shall act on behalf of such financial creditor. So this is basically provide this, and this will be treated as the class of creditors, means a class with at least 10 financial creditors under clause B of subsection 6A. B, what is provided as per B, is on to a class of creditors exceeding the number may be specified other than the creditors covered under clause A of or subsection 6, the interim resolution professionals shall make an application to the adjudicating authority along with the list of all FC containing the name of an individual insolvency professional other than the IRP to act as their AR, who shall be appointed by the adjudicating authority prior to the first meeting of the committee of creditors. So basically, the person who will be appointed as a AR will be considered as the class, or as in the definition of the class of creditors, and shall be construed accordingly. Now, code means Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. We all knows the code of conduct means the code of conduct for insolvency professionals as set out in the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India uh, Regulation 2016. We have already discussed the board of the insolvency professional regulations. We have already discussed these regulation in previous webinars. Now, committee means a committee of creditors established under section 21. As per the definition, whatever is exist will be considered as the committee of creditors. So in the definition part, if we will see, I think there is no change because these are changes in 16 or 18. But recently there is no change in the definition part. Now, what is the corporate insolvency resolution process? So the corporate insolvency resolution process means the insolvency resolution process for corporate person under chapter 2 of part 2 of the code. So chapter, what is this is chapter 2 and the part 2 of the code. Now, electronic means shall have the meaning assigned to it in the Information Technology Act. So basically, whatever as per the IT Act will be considered as the electronic forms. Now, electronic means an authorized and secured computer program. We have seen these two definitions in earlier regulations also. So these are the same whatever is discussed in earlier regulations. So these are the same here. Now, evaluation metrics means such parameters to be applied and the manner of applying such parameters as approved by the committee for consideration of resolution plan for its approval. Now, fair value. What is the meaning of fair value? Fair value means the estimated realizable value of the assets of the CD if they were to be exchanged on the insolvency commencement date. So whatever the exchange on the insolvency commencement date will be considered as the fair value between a billing buyer, because there should require a willing buyer and a willing seller in a arm's length basis. So they have cleared this key. There should be a arm's length basis, means the transaction will be not with the means if these are with the related party or something, then arm's length basis should be there. And after proper marketing and where the parties had acted knowledgeably, prudently and without compulsion. So they have cleared what is the fair value here, what is the definition of it. Now, identification number, we all know the for the company, in case of the company, the SIN number is there, and in case of the LLP, there is the LLP identification number is there. So, what is insolvency professional entity? So they have cleared what is the meaning of IPE. So IPE means an entity recognized as such under the IBBI regulations 2016. So IP regulation, we have already discussed these regulations also. So IPE is basically as per these regulation. Now, what is the meaning of liquidation value? Means the estimated realizable value of the assets of the corporate debtor if the corporate debtor were to be liquidated on the insolvency commencement date. So, whatever the realizable value is on the date of the commencement of the liquidation, so will be considered as the liquidation value. Now, participant means a person entitled to attend a meeting of the committee under section 24 or any other person authorized by the committee to attend the meeting. So these are the participants. Now there is no change as recently there is no change as we have seen. So in the definition part, recently there is no change. Now registered valuer means a person registered as such in accordance with the Companies Act 2013 and rules made thereunder. Now schedule is whatever as per the regulation. Section means the section of the code. Video conferencing or other video audio visual means such other we have already discussed these definition so many times in the previous regulations. Now, there is no changes was made by the IBBI till the date. Recently means because in 2022-23 there was some changes, but recently if we will see there is no change in the definition part. So if anybody have any suggestions to make any changes in the definition part, they can suggest. Otherwise, I will continue. So I don't think there is a need to change any definition part. So I should
Madam, I
continue.
propose to change
Yes, yes, yes,
definition
yes,
HA
yes, but yes,
relating
sir.
to evaluation metrics.
1 minute, sir. H
A.
A B C D. 8 minutes, sir. H. Electronic means, sir.
No, no.
H A.
It
Okay,
is evaluation metrics.
Yes, yes, sir.
As it has lost its relevance nowadays, so I propose that it may be deleted.
Sir, why, sir? Evaluation metrics. So, this is basically the on which we can evaluate the metrics plan, resolution plan, basically. Na evaluation metrics is for this. So
Now
why?
every plan is to be voted. Earlier, the resolution that the L1 plan has to be
Sir,
voted.
sir, every plan should be
This is a
voted.
definition, it can stay.
Okay, so you are saying ki because they have proposed in the regulation that the all plans should be shown to the committee of creditors, whether
No,
they are
not
yeah.
shown to be created. The resolution plan, all resolution plan are to be voted. Or all compliant plan are to be voted instead of H1 plan.
Okay,
And
so
and
you
also just to add to this, when you're discussing with them, putting them, bidding against each other even after opening, this has no meaning now. I think I agree with Rajesh ji, certainly, sir. This has no meaning at this stage, other than giving a guidance that what COC is looking for. Just a guidance value it has, nothing else. Because they can revise their plan anytime, any number of time also now it is happening. You are telling them increase the price, etc. So yes, sir. The definition, I don't know why do we need to change, but yes, relevance is lost. That's one point.
Okay, sir, noted. Is there any other changes, if any, suggested from the participants in the definition part? So I think no change is required. Now, we will discuss.
Ma'am,
Yes.
good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
Whether this class of creditors includes employees of one management, ma'am, because there are a lot of employees join
So
together.
already,
They wish to file
ma'am,
CIRP.
there is already have the provision in the further regulations we will read, because the one of the representative from the employee or from the workman should be there in the class of creditors, should attend the meeting of the creditors. So there is the provision is also in the regulation. Now, so what you want to suggest here? What will be the
Yeah,
what? Yeah.
that
Yes.
is when the only operational creditors are the part of the COC.
Sir, if
Now
sir
she is
note,
suggesting.
yes,
Now she is suggesting. I think what I understood is the employees should be, there must be a representative from the employees, considering them as a class of creditors. But they
sir,
don't have the they don't be part of COC, na? When there are financial creditors.
I'm not agree with this. However, ma'am, what is the purpose to add the employee in the class of the creditors, ma'am?
This is only for financial creditors.
If
Minimum 10 financial creditor is required
yes,
somewhere in a definition.
at least 10 financial creditors, sir, means a class with at least 10 financial creditors. So the more than 10 should be there.
If the financial credit is less than 10,
Less than 10, then no issue, sir. The class can be the class of
the entire credit should be there. If the financial creditor is 5, then all the creditors should be there.
All
yes,
nine will be there, sir, in case nine are
all
there.
9. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So I don't think.
Ma'am,
Mhm.
one clarification. What if operational creditors have more than 10% of the claims value admitted,
Yes.
and that operational creditors happen to be employees or workmen of a particular organization of the CD?
Mhm.
Can they be considered as a class? This is a question I
No.
think she asked.
Sir, they should not be considered as a class. So class of creditors, basically, as per my understanding, is there if home buyer is there.
Exactly.
So
Currently
yeah,
it is yes.
so
Currently
yeah,
it is yes.
so this is the class of creditors basically of the financial creditors, because they are more than 100 or something is a 10% of the value. So this is the class of creditors. But
I
I don't
agree.
think, yeah.
The question is, for example, if 10% of the value of the admitted claims
Mhm.
is belonging to operational creditors,
Yes, sir.
they will have representation in the committee. Am I right?
No.
No, sir.
COC comprises only financial creditors.
No,
Yes.
Kashiji,
But
what he's saying is
they
right.
can
No.
participate
They can
if
No,
there
They can
is.
represent it. They can
But
only
sir,
represent, but they're not having
sir,
voting rights.
Yes,
Madam.
they
yes,
don't have
vote
voting
don't
rights.
have it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They don't
are
have
not
voting
having
rights.
that. Yes.
They
Exactly.
can
That's my
represent
point.
it. They can represent, but they're not having the voting rights. That's
Yes,
all.
sir.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
when they have more than 10% of the claim admitted, claim value of the claim
Yes, sir.
admitted,
I have already
then
proposed.
they need to
Yes.
need to have representation in the COC.
Yes, yes. I
So
have
then-
already proposed here the regulation 38A. I will also show you, because
Yes.
OC should also be considered. If they have the higher amount as a claim, they should be considered in the committee of creditor.
Exactly. For
yeah,
example, madam,
yeah.
further to that, for
Yeah.
example, imagine if they have 25% of the value of the claim admitted.
Yes,
Okay?
yes. I have
And
already
in that
written here. Yeah.
in that 25%, say 20% is belonging to a particular class of workmen or employees,
Yes.
then can they be considered as class of creditors? This is what exactly the change of amendment of this particular definition might be required there.
Exactly. Sir.
Yes.
That is required, sir. If they have more
Okay.
than 25%, they require voting power in the COC. Otherwise, it is
So they
waste.
may not they may not be voting because they are operational creditors. They cannot vote.
But sir, there is also required a change in the regulation. If they are having 25% or more than this value,
Yes, sir.
then they should also have some power.
No, that is IBC scheme itself is
Yes.
like that. Financial creditors only have the voting power.
If it exceeds more than 25%, then only they must represent. They have to cast their vote also. If actually,
Okay, sir,
if it
we'll
exceeds
discuss.
25%,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We will discuss this part also, sir. Now we are discussing the definition part. So, what is required exactly in the class of creditors? What is required to be added here? Only, please suggest.
So class of creditors means a class with at least 10 financial creditors only here now. Can you go
Yes,
back to
sir.
this?
Yes, sir. So now who will be added here in the class of creditors?
Whoever has more than 10% would claim by leave.
If OC is
OC
having
also, as per the definition, I think OC also should be a part of a class
more
of
than
creditors.
10%.
But they don't have voting rights. Let's all admit that. They don't have voting rights. But only the definition, if you look at, class of creditors means a class with at least 10 financial creditors, they are saying.
Yes, sir.
Why not / operational creditors?
Okay.
If
Here
LOT
the 10 financial creditors / the
No, I mean,
operational
I'm
creditors.
opening it to the forum for discussion. I mean, in case somebody else have a different opinion, probably we can.
If the all allottees are there in the case of the builder, then they have to create a group of the person, then the percentage is there.
Well, allot is no doubt. Allot is obviously in any case they are financial creditors.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
So,
Hello.
yes,
They have to
yes, sir.
create a group.
Yes, madam, I would like to say that decree holders can be operational creditors or can be financial creditors.
Financial creditors, sir. A decree holder is always considered as the FC.
Decree holders may be, according to the nature of the debt, they may be operational creditors or they may be the financial creditors. So there must be authorized representative for both the categories.
So in the class of creditors, you are saying if the decree holder is there and having debt. So sir,
I think
what you want to suggest here, sir, please you can mention in the chat box. Sir, पीछे से काफी आवाज आ रही है, म्यूट कर लीजिए सर प्लीज म्यूट.
हेलो, मैं 2 महीने से कर रहा हूँ, सैलरी शीट क्यों नहीं बना रहे मेरे?
सर
और ये आपने क्यों नहीं हटाया नाम पे? ग्रेजुएटी का बगी ग्रेजुएटी क्या होगा?
ICSI, can you mute?
Madam, it should be financial creditors, oblique operational creditors, decree holders.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is.
आप सारे काम फ्री होके मेरे को फोन करो, मुझे अर्जेंट काम है.
I will read. I will make this recommendation to the ICSI IPA. Or is there any other changes is required in this definition part, sir?
इसको मैं जावा हो जाता है कि मुझे सैलरी शीट
we'll continue now.
अपने एक नया टेम्पलेट परचेज किया.
Sir, please mute yourself, sir. I am requesting. Some voice is coming from the. Anjali, ICSI IPA is there.
What is the organizers are doing?
Is it Mr. Vijendra? Mr. Vijendra, I think you are not muted. Vijendra Sahib.
I'm requesting to the ICSI IPA, please. Please mute the participants whose voice is disturbed. So now we will discuss.
Madam, you have been muted. Please unmute yourself.
Sucheta madam, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Sir, now am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
So now regulation 2A, record or evidence of default by the financial creditor. So what is provided as per regulation 2A, record or evidence of default by the financial creditor for the purpose of clause A of subsection 3 of section 7 of the code. The FC may furnish, here is the may, not shall, may furnish any of the following records or evidence of default, namely the certified copy of entries in the relevant account in the banker's book as defined in clause 3 of section 2 of Bankers Book Evidence Act 1981. So the certified copy of entries means basically the bank statement, an order of the court or the tribunal that has adjudicated upon the non-payment of debt where the period of appeal against such order has expired. So any of the evidence we can attach as a record of evidence default by the FC. Now the record or evidence of transaction, debt and default by the OC. So the OC shall, because these are the records of the FC, but what will be considered as the record of the OC? So the operational creditor shall, because here they have used may word, but here in 2B records for the OC, they use shall word. So this is mandatory. In this case, this is not mandatory. But in this case, this is mandatory. So the OC shall, along with the application under section 9, furnish copies of the relevant extracts of form GSTR1 or GSTR3V if filed under the provision of the relevant laws relating to the GST Act, and the copy of e-way bill wherever is applicable. So they have required these records if they have filed all these returns. Now, provided that the provision of this regulation shall not apply to those OC who do not require the registration and to those goods and services which are not covered under any law relating to the Goods and Service Act. So if there is OCs such type in which the goods and services are not sold or they have not required any registration, so in this case these returns are not mandatory, otherwise these are the mandatory. Now the submission of information along with the application. So the FC or OC shall.
Ma'am, can you see, just see 2B, when was this introduced? Just
Yes,
look
sir.
at the
Yes, sir. 2C.
2B,
Sir,
2B.
2B. Yes, sir.
This 9, this amendment 9, below. Can you just come down?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, inserted
In
notification.
2022.
21, yeah.
Yes.
22, okay.
So is there any query or some suggestions or something? You want to say something, sir?
No, ma'am, no.
Okay.
Thank you.
So submission of information along with application. Now FC or OC shall, while filing the application under section 7 or 9 as the case may be, also furnish detail of his or its pen and email ID. So this is mandatory because here is the shall. Now detail of the debt, default and limitation in respect of the application under section 7 or section 9. So while filing an application under section 7 or 9, the FC or the OC, as the case may be, shall also submit along with the evidence chronology of the debt and default, including the date when the debt become due, date of default, date of part payment, if any, or date of last acknowledgement of debt, because there are so many dispute on this. What will be the last date of acknowledgement of the debt and the limitation applicable. So basically, these are the requirements which have required to be submitted at the time of the filing of application. So this is defined here. Now, is there any change or some suggestions is required in this part or in these, in any of these regulations? So there is no suggestions in these definition in these regulations. Now we'll continue on the other parts. The chapter 2. Chapter 2. What is provided as per chapter 2? The eligibility for the resolution professional. Now an insolvency professional shall be eligible to be appointed as the IRP or RP as the case may be for a corporate insolvency resolution process of the CD if he and all partners and directors of the IPE of which is the partner are independent. So we have already seen this definition so many times in other regulations, in voluntary liquidation or some other regulations. So I think this is the same, is eligible to appoint as the independent director as per section 149 of the Companies Act, is not a related party of the CD, is not the employee or proprietor of the partner of a auditor firm, secretarial auditor firm, cost auditor firm. So basically this is the same definition, same regulation which we have already read in some other regulations. So the not the legal or consulting firm in which any transaction with the CD is amounting to 5% or more of the gross turnover of the firm in the last 3 financial year. So we have required to check all this at the time of our appointment and eligibility. Now, assistance and cooperation by the personnel of the corporate debtor. So IRP or RP, as the case may be, shall take custody and control as specified under this regulation from the personnel of the corporate debtor, because we have seen so many times no cooperation is there. Its promoters or any other person associated with the management of the CD, as the case may be, of the following: the records of information relating to the assets, financials, and the operations of the corporate debtor referred in clause A of section 18 or such other information required under regulation 36, the assets recorded in the balance sheet of the CD or any other records referred in clause 18 or F. So they have told that the assistance and cooperation is required, and personnel of the CD, its promoters or any other person associated with the management of the CD shall provide to the IRP or RP, as the case may be, a list of assets, records while handling over their custody and control, and the IRP or RP may, after taking such custody and control if deemed necessary, identify the persons in whose possession these assets and records will be held. Now, where any assets or records had not have been handed over, or the list has not been provided under this sub-regulation 2, the IRP or RP, as the case may be, shall himself prepare the list of assets and records while taking custody and control of the assets and records, and the IRP or RP may, after taking such custody and control, if deemed necessary, identify person in whose possession these assets are held. Each list of assets and records under regulation 2(3) shall be signed by the parties present and by at least 2 individuals who have witnessed at the act of the taking control and custody of such assets. So when we will take the handover, we'll consider this point also. We will get the sign from each of the party who are giving the handover, and also the 2 witness sign should be there. The IRP or the RP, as the case may be, shall requisition from the personnel of the CD, its promoters or any other person associated with the management of the CD, as the case may be, the information relating to the assets, finances, and the operations of the CD as per section 18, and such information required under regulation 36, which were required to be maintained by the CD but have not yet handed over. So requisition from the personnel of the CD will take its promoters or any other person associated with the management, as the case may be. The information relating to the assets, finance and operations of the CD and such other information required under Regulation 36, which were required to be maintained by the CD but not have been handed over. Now, IRP or the RP, as the case may be, shall requisition from the personnel of the CD, its promoters, or any of other person associated with the management of the CD, as the case may be, the asset which are recorded in the balance sheet or any other records referred in as per clause F of section 18. Now we will discuss this section also. Otherwise, the whole regulation will not be clear. So I just show you the section 18 also here, the duties of the IRP. So what basically they are saying, clause A, referred in clause A 18. So collect all information relating to the assets, finance and operations of the CD for determining the financial position of the CD, including the information relating to the business and operations for the previous 2 years. So at the time of taking the handover at the corporation, we should consider the business operations of last 2 years, the financial and operational payments for the previous 2 years. So 2 years is there in each and every transactions. Now, list of assets and liabilities as on the operational creditor, as the case may be, make an application to the adjudicating authority for initiating the CIRP date and such other matter as may be specified. So we should take this as per section 18A. Now the IRP or RP, as the case may be, shall requisition from the personnel of the CD, its promoter, or the person associated with the management of the CD, the assets which are recorded in the balance sheet as per section 18F. So what is provided as per section 18F here? 18F is providing the take control and custody of any assets over which the CD has ownership right as recorded in the balance sheet of the CD or with the information utility or the depository of the securities or any other registry that records the ownership of the assets, including assets over which the corporate debtor has the ownership right, which may be located in the foreign country, assets that may or may not in the possession of the CD, tangible assets, intangible assets, securities. So they have provided all this. Now, application made under subsection 1, 2 of section 19 in respect of the failure to provide, because we have filed section 19(2) application to the adjudicating authority if they have not provided the information. So failure to provide any assets or records requisite under the code and this regulation shall show presence of such assets and records in the notice of requisition and absence of such assets and records in the list of the assets and records taken in control and custody as per sub-regulation 2 and 3. So when we will file the application for section 19(2), we have required to note it down all these assets, whatever is taken in the possession by the IRP or RP from the CD, and if they have not given we should also provide the list in the application that these are the assets which is still with them and they have not providing the possession of these assets. Now, access to books. So without prejudice to section 19(2)(d), the IRP or the RP, as the case may be, access the books of accounts. So have the right, because IRP or RP have the right to access the books of accounts, records or other relevant documents and information to the extent relevant for the discharging of its duty. So with the corporate data, whether it is held with the depository of securities, professional advisor of the CD, information utilities, other registries, records or ownership of assets, members, promoters, partners, board of directors. So they have covered all these, and contractual counterparties of the corporate debtor. So we can take we have the access to books to access the books of accounts. All these person is there with them if any of the books is exist. So the personnel of the corporate debtors, its promoters, or any other person associated with the management of the CD shall provide the information within such time, such format as short by the IRP or the RP, and the creditor shall provide the IRP or RP. The case may be the information in respect of the assets and liabilities of the CD from the last valuation report, stock statement, receivable statement, inspection reports of the properties, audit book, stock audit report, title search report, and technical officers report, bank account statement, and such other information which shall assist the IRP or RP in preparing the information memorandum, because the information memorandum will be prepared on the basis of all these informations, getting the valuation determined and in conducting the CIRP process. So I think they till the whatever I have read the earlier or something, there is no change in 2025. So there is no recent change in all these regulations till the date. Now we will continue. Access to books, already read this. So there is no change in this also. Now choice of AR. So
One small doubt, madam.
yes, sir.
Excuse
Yes,
me.
sir.
As regard to this section 3A, access to, obtaining the possession of assets and liabilities, we are dependent on the balance sheet available as a of a lot. But many companies, I observed they have not been filing balance sheet for years, maybe 2 or
sir.
years, 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Then what is the
Yes, sir.
balance sheet to be taken into account?
The last audited balance sheet, whatever is submitted by the company.
But some NCLT, they are not, permitting that. They are insisting that these books should be constructed by the resolution professional,
Sir, you may ask some accounting details or something from the CD, like and the financial creditor, if the financial creditor have filed the case against the CD, then they have some information also at the same time, because they knows the assets and financial assets status of the company.
If we get cooperation from the corporator, no issues. Otherwise, I think instead of saying the balance sheet, it must. If it is mentioned as the latest available balance sheet as on the ICD, I think it would be better. From then, I think we can.
Sir, because there in IM, if we will read the IM part, so in the IM part, it is mentioned that the provisional balance sheet required to be prepared, which is required to be provided by the CD. And in this provisional balance sheet, the provisional balance sheet is the very latest balance sheet. So we can ask the provisional, So if not corporate, then we will file the 19.2. There is no other options. And some recommendation also made by the ICSI IPA, because this is, I will say, this is some the parliamentary change was already provided by the all the IPA, I think. Because some members or some IPs have already suggested that there should be some penalty should be imposed on the CD if they are not providing. On 19.2 we have filed, because I have seen in so many cases 19.2 is going on more than 2 or 3 years, but there is no result till the date. They have still not provided anything. So there should be some penalty should be imposed on the CD. Penal provision should be there.
That is there, madam. Penalty is a different issue. But we can't accelerate the CIRP process unless we get the information. Levying penalties is some other issue.
So you are saying, sir, you are suggesting the changes here, in which the assets recorded in the balance sheet of the corporate debtor or any other records.
What is 18F?
Yes, 18F. So this is the 18F basically. Is the worst
18.
definition is here.
18F says
Yeah, take custody, control and custody of any assets
as
over
recorded in the balance sheet of the corporator.
as that record. No, sir. As recorded in the balance sheet of the corporate debtor, it is not mentioned here. This is saying the assets recorded in the balance sheet of the corporate debtor, or either this exists in the balance sheet, otherwise if not exist, then we should take as per this definition, take control if any assets, if this is still not showing in the balance sheet, we can take over these assets also.
Okay.
How will you get to know that these are your assets if they are not in balance sheet?
If they are not in the balance sheet, so we can take control and custody of any assets.
How can you know whether it belongs to you or not?
Sir, we have required to check, the cross verification is required to check the ownership
From where?
proof, or
From
sir,
where?
there should be some agreements or something is exist in the company.
So basically, I think there are two scenarios. If the
Yeah,
company is
or
a going concern, if the company is a going concern, and if you don't have the balance sheet of last 2 years, still it is not a problem. There could be, if it is a going concern, there could be definitely employees working, and as an RP, you can still construct, as Mr. Ghazi said, you can still construct based on the previous data. But if the company is not a going concern, it's a dead company, then RP will have all the trouble from where he will create.
And moreover,
sir,
so we have seen one case
yes, sir.
in which what happened, the balance sheet was of 2019, available balance sheet. Later on, some fire accident has happened. And when we visited the place, there were only some machinery and all sundry items are there, which are not as per any record. Then we asked the creditor, financial creditor being a banker. When
Yes.
they financed the at the initial stage, they must have the list of things attached to their hypothecation agreement. Then when we have seen the list of in the list, the assets that are there in the list and the assets available in the premises are not matching, either the make or anything. So then in such situation, it is very difficult for us to ensure that those particular assets available in the premises are having their ownership.
Yes, sir.
Very practical issues. But
yes, sir.
instead of a balance sheet, if they say that latest available balance sheet, then I think it would be, we can face NCLT. Otherwise, NCLT insisting that you go and prepare the balance sheet. And it is very difficult in some cases, in cases which I referred, it is very difficult to construct the balance sheet as of date.
Yes, sir. So you want any change or something in this regulation or some?
There is a stock in the balance sheet, but physically the stock is 0. Then what will action taken by the RP?
Sir, action.
They have some value.
Sir, now I'm just asking, is there any changes is required? So your whatever problem you are facing due to any regulations, so is there any something is required to insert or some amendments is required in the regulation? So you may suggest. So we will propose, means ICSI IPA will propose to the IBBI.
Latest available audited balance sheet, it is better, I think.
Latest.
Instead of balance sheet.
Yeah.
Latest filed audited.
Okay, you are saying here we will say in the regulation whatever we are reading here.
The stock audited balance sheet, but physically the stock is 0.
So that is for valuation.
So
Then
the assets
we have some
recorded in
base
the
we can
balance
ask this
sheet.
character. Yeah.
That is for valuation.
The assets recorded
Balance sheet is
In
different.
the
balance
latest,
sheet.
in the latest balance sheet of the CD.
Latest
So
available balance sheet.
the latest word should be there.
Latest available audited balance sheet.
Latest available audited balance sheet या auditable balance sheet? Audited balance sheet.
Audited.
Audited.
If suppose if the company has finalized 22 and
There,
not
but
ready with 23, 24, at least we will
Yes.
file as per 22 balance.
in
Yes,
certain
sir.
cases, everything is there, but it is being in possession of some persons.
No,
But-
then we can ask the corporate debtor as per
Hmm.
22 balance sheet, these are the assets, where have they gone? Then we can get some information from them. We should know what is the asset of the corporate debtor. If
Okay,
they
sir.
say latest audited balance sheet is not available,
Yes. Yes,
because
sir.
23, 24 they have not prepared. 22 was the final balance sheet available.
Sir, in mostly cases, I have seen the latest, always NCLT also says the whatever is the latest available balance sheet is there, can take for the records.
From the back statement, one can
yes.
understand. On the back statement,
Yes, sir.
one can make the latest balance sheet.
Yes.
To some
yes,
extent.
yes. From the bank statement, we can also prepare the latest balance sheet.
To some
From
extent.
bank account.
Yeah. To some extent, sir. To some extent, we can prepare now. Okay, sir. I will write down some whatever is suggested here is the 3A B. Now, access to books, we have already discussed this. Now, choice of AR. What is the choice of how to choose the AR? On the examination of the books of accounts and other records of the CD, the IRP shall as a certain class of creditors, if any, for representation of the CD, means on the examination of books of accounts and other relevant records of the CD, the IRP shall as certain class of creditors, because the IRP have find out the class of creditors here. Now, if any, for the representation of the creditors, because AR is always for the class of creditors, not for the only one creditor. This is for the class of creditors. So, for representation of the creditors in a class as certain as per sub-regulation 1, in the committee, the IRP shall identify 3 insolvency professionals who are not his relatives or related party, and have their address as the registered with the board in the state or union territory as the case may be, which shall the highest number of creditors in the class as per their addresses in the records of the CD, provided that where such state or the union territory does not have adequate number of IP or IPs having address in the nearby state or the union territory as the case may be shall be considered. Eligible to be RP under Regulation 3 and willing to act as the AR of the creditor in a class. The IRP shall obtain the consent of each insolvency professional identified under sub-regulation 2 to act as a authorized representative of the creditors in class in form AB. So they have also prescribed the form here for taking the consent of the AR. Now, disclosure of change in name and address of the CD. So, where a CD has changed its name or registered office address during the period of 2 years preceding the insolvency commencement date, the IRP or RP as the case may be shall disclose all former names, registered office address, so change along with the current name and office address. So please keep remember is the 2 years is here, preceding 2 years from the date of the means preceding the date of the commencement of the insolvency. So we have required to disclose all the former or the current address and name, whatever, in every communication records, proceedings, or any other documents. So there is no change, no recent change here. the IRP shall open an email account and use it for all the correspondence with the stakeholders, and in the event of replacement by the RP shall hand over the credential of the email to him. And the RP shall, in case of his replacement with another RP or a liquidator, hand over the credential of the email to other RP, the liquidator, as the case may be. Now, sir, in this case, I have faced one problem, because in my one of the case, the email ID was hacked. So in this case, there is no provision in case if email ID was hacked. So what should be the procedure should be followed by the IRP to make the new email, how to make the complaint or something. So I have proposed one change here also. The
Cybercrime.
Yeah, in 4C, I have added, in the event that the email account referred to in sub-regulation 1(2) is compromised, including but not limited to unauthorized access, hacking, or loss of access credentials, the IRP or the RP, as the case may be, shall immediately report the incident to the AA, means NCLT, or the IBBI and all stakeholders, and take appropriate steps to secure or recover the account, including the lodging a cyber complaint and coordinating with the cyber service providers, and create a new email account, inform all stakeholders of the change, and maintain a secure records of all the communications henceforth. So I have added this something here because this incident was already happened in one of the case. So I'm also asking for the suggestions from the participants also. Is this okay, or some more proposal should be here?
No, that's fine, madam. It is covering all the things, including filing of complaint with cyber.
Yes.
Yeah. Because we should have the power also to file a case, no?
Yes, sir. So I have added
And taking
this
it, you are saying
because
that
there
taking
is
it,
yeah,
taking
because
it to the notice of the CD
yeah,
and other stakeholders, everything, no?
yes,
IBBI, you are involving
yes,
it, you have
yes,
involved
yes.
everyone in that.
Because basically I don't think IRP or RP is doing all these practice these process. So there should be a clear-cut provision for this also. If there is something hacking or loss or something, so there should be a clear-cut provision for this.
For the 270 days compliance, I don't think
Yes,
they will agree.
yes,
270
sir.
days,
Yeah,
270 days compliance,
yes.
you are asking for no penalty.
Sir, I will also discuss this. The penalty for non-completion of the
Yeah,
CRP within 270 days.
they may not
So,
agree. They may not agree on this.
sir, I'm not saying the penalty should be imposed on the IP or IRP. I'm saying the penalty should be there on the OC, because the sorry on the committee of creditors, because sometimes I have seen the COC have delayed the process many times, sir,
Okay, leniency can be said.
because they are not attending the meeting, they are not approving the resolution
Whether
plan,
any
sir.
guidelines are there for the COC?
Guidelines are there,
The
no? There.
guidelines are there,
Who is
sir.
following these guidelines, sir?
Nobody is,
No
it is
one,
not
sir, no
mandatory.
one,
Then how
because
can you impose the penalty when there is no concrete things?
Sir,
But
so this is the only proposal here. There should,
That is what I
because
am saying, ma'am. Seek.
yes,
Yes, please. You continue.
no, they will frame suitable.
I'm saying because so that the process can be completed within 270 days. Because I have seen in so many cases that 2-3 years the proceeding is going on, and in the current scenario, sir, the banks are not interested to go in the IBC due to all these delays.
You can add without granting of proper extension by NC adjudicating authority.
Yes, so the extension should, sir, extension is already there. The 90 days extension
Yeah,
is there.
no.
Yeah. So I'm saying if already
If it is exceeding 270 without permission of the NCLT.
the
Penalty
CIRP.
can be imposed only by amending the act or not by regulation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This penalty can be imposed only through the act only. Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
have made this recommendation to the ICSI IPA. The previous committee was held. The committee meeting was already held. So I have already suggested.
Okay, if COC member doesn't pay you the penalty, then
Sir, COC members will not pay to me any penalty.
They will pay, sir.
They will
they
pay
will
to
pay
the.
whether they are paying you
When there is
regulation.
financial creditors, see, like generally there will be bankers. If there are some serious KYC issues, RBI is imposing penalty. They have to pay. They will pay. Similar guidelines. This is
Yes,
also
sir.
another
They
regulator.
will pay, sir.
They will pay. They have to pay.
Ma'am, may I ask you with regard to the previous regulation 3A?
Yes, sir.
What was the suggestion you just marked? What was the amendment which you wanted to propose?
3A, sir.
Yeah, just before previous one.
Sir, 3A is the assistance and cooperation by the personnel of the CD.
You marked in your sheet, no?
Yes, sir. I have marked is the latest available audited balance sheet, because in 3A.
Yeah. Go back to the 3A then, just for clarification. That means, as per 3A,
yes, sir,
the IRP or RP shall, okay, let's read like this, interim resolution professional or resolution professional, as the case may be, shall take custody and control of then the assets. 3B is correct?
Yes, sir.
The assets recorded in the audited balance sheet. This is what we want to propose.
Yes, audited balance sheet, audited latest balance sheet as recommended by the participants. So I have noted down latest available audited balance sheet.
But that will be, Rao sir, I think that will be again a trouble, no? Because probably the audited balance sheet will be 3 years, 5 years, before.
Yes.
So as per the audited balance sheet.
My intention was, sir, actually suppose somebody has filed 22 balance sheet, 23, 24, 25 are not available.
Not available.
And NCLT is insisting that it should be as per the balance sheet or audited balance sheet. We can't construct for 3 years within the period of 270 days. So we have, if we have a base of latest audited, say for example 2022, we can ask the corporate debtor to account for all the assets that are there in the 22 and what has happened to those assets.
But NCLT, in what context they will insist on?
Any issue, ICD date, they want to balance
I have a suggestion, Rao sir.
Yes, sir.
See, we all have heard about Order 37 CPC, right? In that case, let me have 1-2 minutes. In that case, the respondent has to file a leave to defend, and there may be a condition or may not be a condition by the court. Here, my submission is, whenever one application is being filed by a company against any corporate debtor, for leave to defend, it should be compulsory to file their latest balance sheet.
Yes. No, but so many cases are there, sir, without not having. It is financial creditor is filing or operational creditor is filing. If CD is filing under Section 10, maybe they will be maintaining. If financial creditor is filing in a CIRP, CD, I don't know whether CD will be ready with the
latest. It should be made compulsory for the CD. If he wants leave to defend his case, then he has to file his latest balance sheet.
Sir, you are talking only for Section 10. You are talking.
We are talking about a scenario. Once you are appointed as an IRP, then you have to, as a part of your duty, you have to take custody and control of the assets of the CD.
In this case, your work will be easy, sir. In this case, your work will be more easy.
Exactly. This is what I was trying to tell the same thing. Because as per the balance sheet which is available as on today, you collect the assets. Whereas, if as per the audited balance sheet, which is 3 years back available, if you want to collect the assets, that assets won't be available.
Yes.
This is what I wanted
to ask. That is in such situation, we can insist CD to produce. Otherwise, what happens is we are not getting the information, and
that in any case, I think you have that provision for Section 19(2). For example, assets are not available, then definitely he has to produce the records and details of the assets as per the balance sheet. But if the balance sheet, the latest balance sheet definitely won't be audited.
Yes.
So then if you add the term audited, will it serve the purpose? This is what I just wanted to reopen the subject and see. Will it serve our purpose?
Here the balance sheet referred under section 3A. I feel it is audited only because we need audited balance sheet for preparing the information memorandum and all that. No? 2025 balance sheet plus the latest 14 days before. Both things we need.
For IM purpose.
Yeah. And companies are not filing for years together. There are such companies also.
Yes, sir. So I think this is okay. Latest available audited balance sheet. The record should be recorded in the latest available audited balance sheet. So I think this is proper, sir.
Not record, madam. Assets. The problem is assets.
Assets recorded.
Yes.
Yes.
Assets as per the last audited balance sheet. That could be a trouble for the RP. I'm saying.
So many times the last available balance sheet is not there in the company.
No, latest means maybe 2019,
latest means
20,
whatever
21,
is available.
Yeah.
Latest means if they have filed in 2022, the last balance sheet they have filed in 2022. So this will be considered as the latest available balance sheet, whatever is had with the CD.
Or otherwise the burden is on the RP to prepare the balance sheet for 23-24.
Yes.
But in any case, if the data is available, that responsibility is still there on the RP.
RP is there, but but taking custody of the assets is not possible without preparing all these things, and preparation of all these things will take months together, and CIRP has to be extended.
Yes,
no mandatory things.
Because this is also a time bounding. Have to complete within 270 days. So
I think it will become a strict compliance.
Now, choice of AR, we have already discussed this. And the process email, I have seen you whatever I have suggested, because in case of the loss or hack of the email. Now, operating separate bank accounts for each real estate projects. So where the corporate debtor has any real estate project, the IRP or the RP as the case may be, shall operate a separate bank account for each real estate project. So as per, if we will see, there is only 28 is inserted recently. So this is handing over the possession. This is the new regulation which is inserted in 2025, 3rd February 2025. So what is provided as per this? The handing over the possession. After obtaining the approval of the committee with not less than 66% of the total votes, the RP shall hand over the possession of the plot, apartment, or the building or any instrument agreed to be transferred under the real estate project and facilitating the registration where the allottee has requested for the same and has performed his part as per the agreement. So this is very relevant and this is very, you can say, is fruitful for the home buyers or some other person who are as the allottee of the building or something. So this is very fruitful for them. They can take the handover on their assets if they have complete their own parts, and for this purpose the RP have required to take the approval from the COC. 66% is their vote, and after that they can hand over the possession of the plot, apartment, or any building or any instruments agreed to be transferred to the real estate project. So basically
this RP has to hand over.
Yes, sir. RP will hand
that
over.
means a suitable alteration amendment must have been made in RERA Act also. There again the question of whether IP is the authorized person to execute such kind of document.
Yes. So, but in this case, the IBBI cannot decide, na, कि RERA should be amended or not. The RERA, in the RERA, there should be some professional who was dealing in the RERA. They should refer to the suitable committee of the RERA that these proposed changes are required in the RERA also. Now,
there will be a question of transfer of proper ownership to the.
Yes, I have read sometimes that some changes was also came in the RERA. After some provision, after some regulations is change in the IBBI, IBC, there are some part was also amended in the RERA, but not sure what is amended, but some changes is there, I think. Exhaustionate credit transaction. A transaction shall be considered exhaustionate under section 50 subsection 2, where the terms require the corporate debtor to make exorbitant payment in respect of the credit provided or are unconsignable under the principle of relating to the context. So we have already read this.
I don't know why this is needed here. Already it is covered under section 43 to 40.
Yes, sir.
It's superfluous.
Yes, sir. Public announcement. The IP shall make a public announcement immediately on his appointment as the IRP. He already knows. The immediately means not later than 3 days from the date of his appointment. Public announcement therefore shall be in Form A, be published in English or in the other language, regional language, newspaper with the wide circulation at the location of the registered office and principal office, if any, of the CD or any other location where the opinion of the IRP, the CD conducts the material business operations on the website, if any of the CD, and on the website of the IBBI for this purpose. State where the claim forms can be downloaded or obtained from, as the case may be, and offer choice of 3 IP identified under regulation.
There are creditors in class. Hello.
For the submission of the proof of claim, which shall be 14 days from the date of your appointment of IRP, and the applicant shall bear the expenses of the public announcement, which may be reimbursed by the committee to the extent it ratifies that. So this is this provision. Now, communication to the creditors. The IRP shall send a communication along with the copy of public announcement made under Regulation 6 to all the creditors as per the last available books of accounts of the corporate debtor through post, electronic means, wherever the information or communication is available, provided that where it is not possible to send a communication to the creditors, the public announcement made under Regulation 6 shall be deemed to be the communicated to each creditors. So is there any change in any of these regulations if required? Let me know, otherwise I will continue on the other part.
Madam, I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Instead of mentioning the creditors only, it may be included to the statutory authorities also.
So yes, sir, we have because it practically required to send
the
message required to be sent to the statutory authority, because this is specifically mentioned in the order. When the company have gone for the CIRP, specifically the NCLT have mentioned in this order, have to communicate to the statutory authorities. So have already sent all the messages to the authorities and MCA or registry or everywhere. Now, proof of claims by the OC. A person claiming to be a OC other than the woman or the employee of the corporate debtor shall submit the claim with proof to the IRP in person, by post or by electronic means in Form B. So for the OC, the Form B is prescribed. provided that such person may submit the supplementary document or clarification in support of the claim before the constitution of the committee. Now, the existence of the debt due to the OC under the regulations may be proved on the basis of records available with the IU, if any, other relevant documents, including a contract for supply of goods and services with the corporate debtor, and invoice demanding the payment of goods and services supplied to the CD, and the order of the court or tribunal that has adjudicated upon the non-payment of the debt, if any, and the financial accounts. So copies of the relevant extracts of the GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B. So the OC have required to file all these informations along with the Form B before the IRP or RP. Now claim by the FC. So FC have required to file the claim in Form C to the IRP, and provided that such person may submit supplementary document or the clarification in support of the claim before the constitution of the committee. Now, the debt of existence of the debt due to the FC may be proved on the basis of the records available with the IU, if any, or other relevant documents, including the financial contracts supported by the financial statement as evidence of the debt, records evidencing that amounting committed by the FC to the CD under the facility has been drawn by the CD, financial statement showing that the debt has not been paid, or the order of the court or tribunal that has adjudicated upon the non-payment of the debt, if any. Now, claim by the creditors in class. So how the class will submit it? The class will submit it in Form CA, and the existence of the debt should be on the basis of the proof of the records available with the IU. Other relevant document, including the agreement, sale, letter of allotment, receipt of payment, and such other document evidencing the existing of the debt. And the creditor in class may indicate its choice of the IP from amongst the three choices provided by the IRP in the public announcement to act as the AR. Now, claim by the workman and employee. So the person claiming to a workman or employee, the CD, they will also submit in Form D. So they have also provide the document, supplementary document, clarification, if any, in support of the claim, and before the constitution of committee. And there are the due to numerous workmen or employee of the CD, and AR may submit one of such dues on their own behalf in Form E. Now, existence of dues to workmen or employee may be provided by them individually or collectively on the basis of sorry records available within IU. Other relevant document, including the proof of employment, such as contract of employment for the period of such with such workmen and employees claiming dues, evidence of notices demanding the payment of unpaid dues, and order of the court or tribunal. So they have also required to submit all these documents at the time of filing of their claim. And claim by other creditors. So other creditors will file their claim in Form F. And the existence of the claim is also proved on these basis of these records. The same is the bank statement, documentary evidence, order of the court or RP, or the RP as the case may be, may call for such other evidence or clarification as is deemed fit for the substantiating the whole or the part of the claim. Now, cost of proof. So cost of proof will be bear by the creditor. So now submission of the proof of claim. So there is no change in this part. There is no change. The creditor shall submit the claim proof on or before the last date mentioned in the public announcement, provided that the creditor who failed to submit the claim with the proof within the time stipulated in the public announcement may submit his claim with proof to the IRP or RP as the case may be up to the date of the issue of request to the resolution plan under regulation 36B, or 90 days from the insolvency commencement date, whichever is later. So basically they have cleared the 90 days from the date of the commencement, or the issue of the request for the resolution plan. So yeah, so they have required to submit their claim, but in so many cases I have seen the condonation of delay order was already passed by the NCLT, and the delay was condoned if they have not filed their claim. So this is also available, provided further that the creditor shall also provide a reason for delay in submitting the claim beyond the period of 90 days from the date from the insolvency commencement date. So if they are providing any claim beyond the 90 days, then they have required to mention the reason also for this delay. Now, where the creditor, yes,
no need to go to NCLT.
Yes, sir. Condonation of delay, we can go for the NCLT.
But it is clearly written.
Yes, sir.
But the regulation is clearly written. They can submit by giving a reason.
Sir, a condonation of delay can be first we will submit the claim to the IRP.
Yes.
And if IRP or RP will not admit our claim,
No, they have to claim because it is clearly written, provided further that the creditor shall provide reasons for delay in submitting the claim beyond the period of 90 days.
Yes, sir, this is written here, but sometimes they have not not admitted the claim.
Now, why? Why?
There is a regulation 13C.
Because the regulation is already provided that up to 90 days they have required to submit their claims.
Then why it is
the
written?
verification, yes, sir, I will also show you in the timeline. This is also mentioned.
That is
Sir,
correct.
earlier the responsibility was on the claimant, whereas from 2023 September onwards, the responsibility is on the RP to file to NCLT for condonation of delay.
Yes.
There's no need to file.
Yes, there is a direction of NCLT is required, but prior to that, RP has to place the claim in front of the COC, and COC has to approve. I mean, COC has to recommend the RP.
But sir, in many cases, the IRP is not submitting the application for the condonation of delay. Suppose I have submitted my claim before the IRP or RP, and they have not considered, either they have not given any reply on this claim. So in this case, I have the right, as a claimant, I have the right to approach to the NCLT for making the condonation of delay application.
Madam,
when it comes to regulation 12 and 13, if you can, when you read that, it will be more clear.
Yes.
Madam, this is amended in order to reduce the litigations. Provided further that the creditors shall provide reason for delays submitting the claims beyond the period of 90 days from the insolvency commencement. So, what I think this has been amended to reduce the litigations.
Yes. So, provided further that the creditor shall provide the reason for delay in submitting the claim beyond the period of they should not use the word beyond.
But they have used it.
Yes, because they are saying within 90 days have required to file the claim.
Otherwise also you can take.
Yeah. So
this is only to reduce the litigations.
Also, there is a provision that before issuance of RFRP, the creditors can file the claim. So,
this is here. Yes, RFRP. Yes.
Correct. So, the beyond word that is mentioned here is for the sole reason that before, sometimes what happens that RFRP is issued at a later stage because COC agrees in their commercial wisdom that they need a little more time. So in that case, if a claim is received prior to issuance of RFRP, but after 90 days, then it is duty of RP to take that to the court and ask for condonation of delay.
There is a further change there. It is not issuance of RFRP. Obviously, the rule is 90 days. But if at all somebody has not submitted their claim, and the last moment, the meeting, the COC meeting, which considers the resolution plan.
Yes, sir.
Prior to that, 7 days prior to that, up till then, RP can receive the claims.
Yes, sir.
For example,
yes,
the COC is considering a resolution plan next week. 7 days prior, till then I can receive the claim from any creditor.
But
If at all
does
they have
RP
not
have to
submitted.
admit it also? RP
RP has to
admit
go.
it
RP has to place it in front of the COC,
But
and
COC
COC has
says
to
no. COC says no, don't admit.
no. Then there is no. COC can
Then
recommend
no.
for filing. COC if the COC can
Sir, why will
recommend and they
COC will share their own seat with somebody? No, but no COC agrees
no
on
no
this.
it is not. That's a
No,
different
no,
question,
when-
sir. If
when
somebody
the
somebody
provisions
has
are
a
there,
genuine, yes,
how COC can refuse to accept the claims? How
exactly.
COC can interfere
I
in
think
this?
it will be more clear when it comes to regulation 13. When you are reading that, it will be more
In
clear.
that case, RP has to file the application with the NCLT for continuation of delay.
Yes, RP should file the application before the NCLT because
13B,
NCLT
13B,
should
I think.
have the
13
ultimate
13
power.
onwards. 13
Yes,
onwards. It is
13 onwards, yes, right.
Yes, 13 I am also reading. Verification of claims. The IRP or the RP, as the case may be, shall verify every claim as on the insolvency commencement date within 7 days from the last date of receipt of the claim, and thereupon maintain a list of the creditors containing the name of the creditors along with the amount claimed by them, the amount of their claims admitted, and the security interest, if any, in respect of such claim, and update it. And where the IRP or the RP, as the case may be, does not collect the claim after verification, he shall provide a reason for the same. In the event that the claim are received after the period as specified in sub-regulation 1 of regulation 12 and up to 7 days before the date of the meeting of the creditor for voting on the resolution plan or the initiation of the liquidation, as the case may be, the IRP or the RP, as the case may be, shall verify all such claim and categorize them as applicable or non-acceptable for the collation.
He can
Now,
accept. He can accept.
yeah, yes, sir.
He can accept without the interference of NCLT.
Who can escape, sir?
RP can accept those claims.
Yes.
Without the interference of NCLT. There is no condemnation of delay.
No, he
Just
cannot
says
accept.
acceptable.
It is
Can accept.
The whole
Acceptable is
Sometimes they have not accepted, sir, claims. So
once you
because
read the whole provision, it will be clear.
because
it's not completed yet.
sometimes they there are some pressure of the COC also not to accept these claims. So sometimes they have not accepted some of the claims. So in that case, the claimant have the right to go to the NCLT for the condemnation of delay. There is some problem is there.
That is unnecessary litigations. Unnecessary litigation.
Sir, unnecessary is not so.
See, my point
because
is, ma'am,
if I am the home buyer and I am very means can say my hardcore money I have invested, and I am the claimant, but I have no knowledge. Because I'm handling one of the case, in this case the lady was came after 3 years before to me to file the claim, because he doesn't know whether the company is in the CIRP, and he has gone to the RERA or some other authorities. She is doing everything, but ultimately after 3 years she knows that the company is with the NCLT, and we can file the claim only with the IRP or RP.
Very common.
Yeah,
Madam,
so
Madam,
these type of yes, sir.
as you earlier said,
Yes,
at the time of initiation,
yes,
IRP has to send mail to every creditors.
sir. What not yes, sir. Repeat, sir, please.
IRP has to send mail to all creditors. Those
Yes.
are available in the books of accounts. If he or
Yes,
she was a creditor.
sir, many times of informations are not available with the IRP or RP. So many times the communication was not made to each and every claimant.
The provision is
And
also saying
sometime,
the same.
yeah,
If
and
the latest
sometime,
available address, if the available address is not there,
yes,
the public
sometimes,
announcement.
yeah, addresses are not correct.
public announcement itself is the deemed communication.
In case of
Then
real estate,
publication, yes.
Yes,
in case of real
publication.
estate,
So some sir, the in our country, the population is there. The 30 to 40% population is still have no knowledge of law or something,
Madam,
and they are
allotment,
not aware about all these causes.
madam,
So
allotment
in
letters
this
would be
case,
there, na?
yes, sir.
There must be a fixed number of allotments in a real estate project. In a real estate project, there
Yes.
must be a fixed number of allotments.
Yes.
So each should be informed.
But sir, practically
No,
this
they
was
are
not
not. They are.
happened,
They
and
are. They are not
practical
very
problem is
updated,
still
sir.
yeah.
Home
Yes,
class
sir.
is not updated actually.
Not updated.
Maybe I
There.
don't have experience in real estate. That's why I'm trying to.
One thing is that we should
The
send
real
them.
problem is in real problem is in real estate
Madam,
only.
one thing is sure, we must send notice to every creditor with the latest available address.
Yes.
If it is not reaching them, public announcement is the deemed communication.
Oh, that is mandatory.
Already written in the regulations.
It's a provision
sir.
also.
Already having the provision in the
Regulation
regulation.
itself
Provide this.
Suppose if there is a change of address, they are not informing, it is their problem.
Yes, this is already provided as per the publication regulations, sir.
Yes.
Then what is the position of RA? Because he submitted a plan based on the information available.
Yes.
And that plan is to be voted.
Yes.
Suddenly somebody come, he put a big claim, and that has to be accepted or
Claim
not.
extinguishes.
So proportionately, he will the RA can divide it.
No,
whatever
there-
he want to. Sir,
there is
whatever-
nothing.
Claim
Yes.
extinguishes if it is not within the time.
He submitted a plan. Plan is to be voted by the COC. And before that, somebody put a claim, big claim, and that has to be accepted, not accepted, goes to the NCLT. What is the position of applicant? He says, oh, so I have not considered this this claim. My liabilities will increase. Why should I go? So what is the position of plan?
Till it is approved by NCLT. If NCLT considers, then it has to be accepted.
Sir,
It has to be accepted.
Sir,
I submitted a plan based on certain presumption or knowledge or contents or information available to me. Suddenly somebody comes with a big claim. My liabilities increase. Why should I submit my plan based on something uncertainties? It may or may not come. Why should I?
Because this is also the part of the.
Sir is right to the extent when it is not there in the IM actually.
It is not in the IM. I have to be changed, or my plan is subject to my plan can be subject to that. Okay, in case any liability comes up after submission, that I need to consider, or I should be given time to understand that maybe I am interested or I am not interested. What is the sanctity of the plan? If they say
sir,
that
as an RP, sir, may I come in, madam? As an RP,
RP position is simple, that he has to
exactly. Once he receives a claim from anybody, he has to inform the RA also.
He received a claim.
RA also, he received a claim, and it is subject to recommendation. It is subject to the recommendation of COC.
I am talking of the claim. I am talking of the claim. He received a claim. Fine. Just let me complete. He received claim. He has to classify into acceptable and non-acceptable. Thereafter, he has to submit COC. See, our resolution professional role is very simple. We get complicated by thinking we are something different. We are only a person who has the professional knowledge to help the court to resolve any of the issue which has come, or any of the case which has come in CIRP. But we have to see all the stakeholders, main stakeholder. My role as a RP is to resolve the case. The case is resolved when the resolution applicant comes. I have to provide all information to him, to COC, and thereafter to the NCLT. That is my role. But when I have given something to RA. RA says, okay, fine. Here is my plan based on this information. Thereafter, suddenly I say, sir, wait. I have somebody, your claim may increase, your liabilities may increase. Why? RA will say, why misrepresentation to me? It is a clear case. I am RA. I say it's a clear representation to me. Yesterday you say, okay, your liabilities may be 100. After that, you are saying, no, there is a 20 more. It may or may not be.
This is not by
sir,
choice.
please
This is by
suggest
accident.
the solution.
See,
Sir,
there is a
clear-
solution also.
This is
For
a reality.
Sir,
example,
provide some solution. If you have any solution, you can provide here, sir.
Yes,
exactly.
the
See,
Yes, sir. Please,
solution
yes.
is that there should be clear-cut demarcation that whatever claims are accepted and has been considered by the COC and conveyed in the IM should be final. Or if it is not final, NCLT or A or anybody, they say, okay, no, we keep it open till the last moment, fine. Then RA should be given the opportunity, the option to
withdraw
that or not. That should be
sir,
fair
in
for
the
both.
practical scenario, if you look at it, all the RAs, they include a condition in their resolution plan. Similar way, they will always
It is not a
say
fine, fine.
obviously
Agree.
they will always say in the resolution plan saying that this is subject to the IM provided by the RP.
Yes.
And
Agree.
it is practically you would have seen this. This is the way
Agree.
RA proposes the resolution plan, sir.
I agree.
Here, yes.
I agree
and
with
here,
sir.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Here in this case, if somebody submits a claim at the last moment, we are discussing that point. It has, I mean, Madam, 13(1)(c), I think it is, we have not read that. Once that is read, it is more clear.
Yes.
How it is to be dealt with.
1 minute, sir. I'm just reading the
13(1)(c). 13(1)(c).
Yes.
1C.
1C.
Yeah, 1C. The
entry, IRP or the RP as the case may be, shall intimate the creditor within 7 days of categorization thereof under subregulation 1B and provide reason where such claim has been categorized as not acceptable or collation and put up the claim categories as acceptable under subregulation 1B and called by him to the committee in the next meeting for its recommendations for inclusion in the list of creditors and its treatment in the resolution plan, if any, and submit such claim before the adjudicating authority for condonation of delay and the adjudication wherever applicable. Yes.
Okay, so it's treatment in the resolution plan.
Yes.
It's a 1B1. It's treatment in the resolution plan, if any. Okay, so the COC will again go back and tell him that, okay, this is the claim we want to include or not. Then again, there will be negotiation with the RA and the COC. And then either he submit a new plan or not. What I mean, what is the finality? What is the sanctioning? What is the okay, this is final, some kind, or there is always open for the litigation.
So
back and forth,
you are saying, sir, noted, sir. Now you are saying कि whatever the claim is final within time also told me the time within 90 days or till the date of the issuing the RFRP, whatever the later.
And
date.
why I am saying this, that when you put it, say that 270 days,
yes,
within that you want time finality, then there should be something final. You cannot keep everything open, back and forth, this, and then you cannot complete certain things. And in that case, if that is beyond the circumstances and circumstances created by the lawmaker itself or the arbitrator or the pronunciation of the law, then what? Then you cannot complete with the 270 days. And now, IP is not responsible. IP is not responsible for all that.
Yes, sir. Got your point now, sir. You are saying that there should be a specific provision for the there is no claim should be allowed after this date. So there should not be a problem created for the creditor, for the IP, for the RA, for anyone can face any type of problem.
Madam, I have a suggestion in clause 1C.
Yes, sir. 1C. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clause 1C, B clause. The submit the claim before the committee in the next meeting for recommendation. There should not be any recommendation. Only for it should be for intimation only, because the creditors are not interested that they should part. They should proportionally get less amount and share the proceeds with the other creditors.
So it's
my
for the
suggestion is that it is for intimation only, not for the recommendation.
recommendation. The word recommendation should be substituted by the intimation.
Intimation.
If you just say intimation, then the entire thing is redundant. No use. I receive, I intimate, that's fine. What is the point in allowing
No,
the claim?
finally it has to be
There is no point, na. If
before
I
the
receive, I
adjudicating
intimate.
authority for condonation. Here the
Transparency.
committee is only to be intimated here.
To keep transparency.
Okay. So if there is no, if recommendation is not there, so you are saying this not be put it before the adjudicating authority.
Yes, because there is practical difficulty because the COC never recommends that the other claims should be admitted and their share will be, they will get less share. So my recommendation is it shall be intimated to the COC and final decision lying with the adjudicating authority, whether to accept or reject.
Yes.
I am from the reading, the question
Yes,
is from the reading of 1C.
Yes, sir.
1C subsection provision B.
Yes, sir.
Put up the claims categorized as acceptable under subsection 1B and collated by him to the committee so and so, and submit such claims before adjudicating authority. Imagine if committee is not recommending. Even then he can submit the claim to adjudicating authority. By reading this, shall we understand that?
Yes,
sir.
because the claim verification is in the purview of IP only, RP
Correct.
only.
So that means even if the committee is not recommending to include this in the list of creditors, he is supposed to file an application. Even in that case, he is supposed to file an application with A for continuous delay, is it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you should say ki if the committee in the next meeting for its intimation for inclusion in the list of creditors and its treatment in the resolution plan, if any, and submit such claim before the adjudicating authority. So now the intimation word should be there. So what is required to be changed here?
Whether this provisions 1 and 2 of subsection B, 1 and 2 are related or separate.
Because these are to, if we will say and is here.
My question is,
so, yeah.
submitting an application before adjudicating authority, is it subject to the recommendation of COC or not?
Oh, sir, right now so many claimants have submitted their claim before the adjudicating authority without any recommendation.
No.
The
so many claimants cannot go directly after the introduction of this particular regulation.
Sir, many
only
cases,
RP can go.
Sir, in many cases, the
That's not the
NCLT have
case. In fact,
condoned the delays.
I also agree with Sucheta ma'am.
Yes.
Mostly
in many cases, the NCLT have condoned the delay.
Actually, the point is sometimes it's the insolvency professional who fails to appreciate that whether a claim needs to be admitted or not at a later stage or even at a prior stage. So if there is a dilemma that whether a claim should be admitted or not, in that case, any which way, claimant goes to AA for directions.
Yes.
This is what happens in this particular scenario as well. In case COC doesn't recommend that and RP puts
Then
it into the
directly to the
non-acceptable
NCLT.
category, then they can go to AA for that.
Yes, yes, sir.
Actually, the idea of putting up the responsibility to the RP was to reduce the number of litigation because
I completely agree.
Because the home buyers, n number of home buyers filing to NCLT.
Yes, sir.
And in order to avoid that, it was put on the RP to club all together.
So sir, I'm saying ki please draft the regulation, the proper regulation if you have any suggestion or some other participants have the suggestion, draft a proper regulation and submit to the ICSI IPA, and also mark me the copy if possible. So I think because in the same time we cannot write down any regulation or something, because some idea should be there, the reason should be there behind all this to prove it to the IBBI also. So we should make a draft and will submit later on.
In my opinion, there is no change required. Mr.
Yes.
Subhash Chandra was suggesting something.
Yes.
Because what I see is basically based on the practical situation. IBBI had come out with a amendment way back in 2023 and inserted this section 31C to avoid litigations.
If you have anything, you can share to me also and ICSI IP also. Now, list of creditors shall be available for inspection by the persons who submitted the proof of claim, available for inspection by the members, partners, directors, and guarantors of the corporate debtor, and displayed on the website if any of the CD, and file an electronic platform of the board for the dissemination on its website, provided that this clause shall apply to every corporate insolvency resolution process ongoing and commencing on or after the date of the commencement of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India as per regulation 2020. So there is no change in 2025 of this regulation, filed with the AA, presented at the first meeting of the COC. Now, determination of the amount of claim. Where the amount claimed by the creditor is not precise due to any contingency or other reason, the IRP or RP, as the case may be, shall make the best estimate of the amount of claim based on the information available with him. And the IRP or the RP, as the case may be, shall revise the amount of claim admitted, including the estimates of the claim made under sub-regulation 1, as soon as may be practicable when he come across the additional information warranting such revision. So the determination is on this basis. Now, debt in foreign currency, if the claim denominated in the foreign currency shall be valued in the Indian currency at the official exchange rate as on the commencement date, insolvency commencement date, basically. The official exchange rate is the referred rate published in the RBI or derived from such relevant dates. So there is no change as of now in this provision. So now we'll discuss the chapter 5, the committee of creditors. So committee with only operational creditors. Suppose if there is only operational creditor, so what will constitute the committee? Where the corporate debtor who has no financial debt, or where all financial creditors are related parties of the CD, the committee shall be set up in accordance with this regulation. The committee formed under this regulation shall consist of the members as under 18 largest OC by value, provided that if the number of OC is less than 18, the committee shall include all such OC or one representative elected by all workmen other than those workmen included under subclause A, and one representative elected by all employee other than those employees included as under sub-regulation A. And the committee of the member of the committee formed under this regulation shall have the voting right in proportion to of the debt due to such creditor or debt represented by such representative, as the case may be, to the total debt. For the purpose of this sub-regulation, total debt. What is the meaning of the total debt? Total debt is the sum of the amount of debt due to the creditors listed in sub-regulation 2A, the amount of the aggregate debt due to the workmen as per sub-regulation 2B, and amount of the aggregate debt due to the employee as per sub-regulation 2C. Now, the committee formed under this regulation, its members shall have the same right, power, duties, and obligation as a committee comprising the financial creditor and its member as the case may be. So is there any changes is required in this OC, the committee of OC? So no further changes is required in this regulation. Now AR, the IRP shall select the IRP who is the choice of the highest number of financial creditor in the class in Form CA received under sub-regulation 1 of regulation 10 to act as the AR of the creditors of the respective class, provided that the choice of IP to act as an AR by the FC in class in Form CA shall not be considered if the CA is received after the time stipulated in the public announcement. The IRP shall apply to the adjudicating authority for appointment of the authorized representative selected under regulation 1 within 2 days of the verification of the claim received under this regulation, provided that till the application for appointment of the AR for the class of creditors is under consideration before the AA, the IP selected under sub-regulation 1 shall act as the IR interim representative for such class of the creditor and shall be entitled to attend the meeting of the committee and shall have such right and duties as that of the authorized representative. Any delay in the appointment of the authorized representative for any class of creditor shall not affect the validity or the decision taken by the committee. So basically they have cleared this. Now the financial creditor in a class representing not less than 10% voting shares may seek the replacement of the authorized representative with an IP, yes sir, of their choice by making a request to the IRP or the RP who shall circulate such request to the creditor in class and announce a voting window open for the at least 24 hours. Now subject to class, because there is, I think there is also no change as per recent regulation. There is no change in this provision also. The RP shall apply to the adjudicating authority for the appointment of the AR who receive the highest percentage of the voting of the financial creditor in that place. Now the IRP shall provide the list of creditors in each class to the representative AR appointed by the adjudicating authority, and the IRP or the RP as the case may be shall provide an updated list of creditors in each class to the respective authorized representative as and when the list is updated. The IRP or the RP as the case may be shall provide the electronic means of communication between the AR and the creditors in class. Voting shares of the creditor in class shall be proportion to the financial debt, which includes the interest at the rate of 8% per annum, unless a different rate has been agreed between the parties. So the financial debt, which include the interest at the rate of the 8%. So this will be the voting shares of the creditors in the class shall be in proportion to the financial debt. If there is no date is provided different. So this is the fees basically. If 10 to 100 creditors in the committee, 30,000 is the fees. 101 to 1,000 creditors, then 40,000 fees. More than 1,000 creditors in a class, then 50,000 is the fees. So last maximum fees is the fee 50,000. Now AR shall be entitled to receive fee for every meeting of the class of the creditor conveyed by him in the following manner. 10 to 100 is the 10,000 a fee per meeting of the creditor in class with the AR, and 101 to 1,000 is the 12,000, and the more than 1,000 is the 15,000. So every AR shall be entitled to receive fee for every meeting of the class of creditors convened by him in the following manner. Sir, some voice is coming from the back side.
Malhotra sir, please mute yourself, Malhotra sir.
The payment of fee to the authorized representative shall be the part of the insolvency resolution process cost In respect of the two meeting with the creditors, he represent corresponding to the meeting of the committee of creditors. Fee of any additional meeting beyond the two meeting corresponding to the meeting of the committee of creditors shall be part of the insolvency resolution process cost, subject to the approval of the committee of creditors. The AR shall circulate the agenda to the creditors in class and may seek their preliminary review on any item of this agenda, enable to him effectively participate in the meeting of the committee. So there is no change as per these regulations. The new in 2025 there is no change, provided that the creditor shall have the time window of at least 24 hours to at least 12 hours to submit their preliminary views, and said window open at least 24 hours after the authorized representative seek preliminary views. Provided further that such preliminary views shall not be considered as the voting instructions by the creditors. Now, AR shall assist the creditor and review the content. So these are all the duties of the AR, what he will perform at the time of the meeting. So all the duty has been prescribed here. The provision regarding the minutes of the meeting in this regulation shall apply mutatis to the clause this, and the creditors in class may propose any additional responsibility upon the AR in relation to the representation of their interest in the committee. So till the date there is no change in this regulation, and I think the time is already have gone, because the 6 o'clock is the timing 4 to 6. So the other regulations, whatever the left regulations is here, we'll discuss tomorrow in the session, because some changes was also there, because the changes was started from the second page. So we'll discuss from 16B. Tomorrow I think we will discuss this, because 6 is also the time is here. So can we conclude now? Tomorrow we'll discuss the whatever the leftover regulations.
Okay, madam. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yes,
I'm
yes.
requesting to all the participants, please take part tomorrow also, so we can discuss all the regulations and provide our feedbacks to the ICSI IPA. Now I'm requesting to the ICSI IPA, can we conclude now?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, we can conclude now.
Okay.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and thank you all the participants for such an interactive session.
Thank you so much. Please join tomorrow. We will discuss.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.